Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel, and today is our review of City's game against Bournemouth at home. Of course, I didn't do a live stream for the game. I never do live streams for the home games, as I will be at the game as a season ticket holder. I've said to you guys before, if you do see me there, give me a wave, come and say hi, that is totally fine. City demolished Bournemouth as we expected, but not quite as much as we expected. Some people before the game were predicting probably a 9-0 or a 6-0. It was a 4-0 in the end. It could have been more. I think City really did take the foot off the gas, didn't they, in that second half after the 3-0 lead. It was pretty easy for him, and City took it easy. A big talking point after the game was, of course, Erling Haaland. How did he play? Didn't score a goal, so is Haaland, a failure? I don't think so. Now, I'll go into that in today's episode of this little match review and ratings. We're not going to cover the Fantasy Premier League today because obviously these games coming today as this video is released. We only have the games from Saturday, so the Fantasy Premier League will not be reviewed until next time, and that's where you can see how you guys are doing. I think I got around 40 points. I captained Haaland, and he didn't score, did he? He did get an assist, but luckily, Gabriel Jesus was vice-captain. That did help me out quite a lot. You can join that league, of course, with the code as in the link that's in the description, and so on. So City versus Bournemouth, how did it go? Well, City did sort of change from the tactics at West Ham. Both fullbacks didn't go inside quite as often as they did against West Ham, did they? It was Kyle Walker who actually spent more time inside, and João Cancelo more on the outside, which was interesting, wasn't it, that City managed to do it that way. Erling Haaland spent a lot of the game. I think he completed or made 2 passes all game. 2 passes, and 1 was from kickoff, and you think, bad performance by Haaland. Not really, and I think what Haaland did is, I think in a game against Bournemouth last season, we might have struggled a bit more trying to break them down with the false 9. I mean, Foden had a glorious chance to square to Haaland, which he didn't do, and I will talk about the Phil Foden situation because that looked a little bit spiky, it did, at the end of half-time. But Haaland occupied that defence, didn't he? That is what I was impressed with. Erling Haaland occupied the defence, and I think that's brought something to Manchester City. He stayed high up against the Bournemouth back 5, which was a negative back 5, very, very deep. Haaland couldn't make the runs in behind. But he spent a lot of the game bulldozing that back 5, worrying the defenders, especially the 3 at the back, the centre-backs. And that just created space for likes of Kevin De Bruyne, who scored an absolutely ridiculous goal, didn't he, with the outside of his boot. That is just prime KDB at his finest. Phil Foden managed to get a goal for himself as well. Ilkay Gundogan set up by Haaland. And this is what I'm saying about Haaland. He draws players in. And on that goal, Erling Haaland draws in 3 Bournemouth players. He uses his body, uses his strength, holds off each one of them, lays it in behind to Ilkay Gundogan. Nice finish into the bottom right-hand corner, and City take the lead 1-0. And that is what set the tone for the game. Then once we'd scored that goal, we could score the other goals as well. So Haaland, I think, occupied Bournemouth a lot of the game, and that made a massive difference in my eyes. I really think Erling Haaland made a big difference for City in the way he played and the way he drew the defenders towards him. Now, the Phil Foden situation, a lot of people may be surprised to see Phil Foden taken off at half-time. I, in the stands, was not. Now, something you probably didn't see on TV, but I saw was, during the game, Phil Foden was sort of drifting in and out, and I think the players were a little bit unhappy with Foden not passing that chance to Haaland where he had a shot. And KDB was saying to Foden, come over here. I was just trying to get him to come over to a certain area. Phil Foden wasn't up for that. And Phil Foden was saying to Kevin De Bruyne, no way, I'm staying here. As that happened, I saw Pep Guardiola, because you can see to the sidelines where I am, kick the grass. He looked a little bit frustrated, and then he told Jack Grealish to warm up. And I turned to the person I was with, and I said, I think Foden's coming off at half-time. It wouldn't surprise me. Half-time, Foden comes off for Grealish. And we know that Pep Guardiola can be ruthless if players do not follow what he has asked. And we said that before. We saw when Pep Guardiola first joined Manchester City, Thierry Henry was talking about his time at Barcelona, and he said that he scored, I think, 2 goals in the Champions League, but he was not staying on the left-hand side where Pep had told him to be. Half-time, Pep took him off. And I think Pep did that with Phil Foden, so that's just a little thing to keep an eye on. Perhaps the relationship might become a bit spiky, but Foden seemed fine at the end. I think he was unhappy with Pep probably taking him off, but it was the right decision. Grealish came on and had a good game as well. 4 really good goals for City. The 4th one, which is at my end, I sit at the other end in front of that one, was one where, I mean, the defender could not do much about it. If Jefferson Lerma doesn't hit his foot there, Julian Alvarez finishes the chance anyway. So they are in trouble, and City really did slow down the second half. I actually thought Grealish was going to get a really bad injury, but he didn't do. Let's have a look at the player ratings and see what you guys think of the player ratings. These are the ratings I have gone with. So we'll start with the manager. Today, Pep Guardiola, an 8. I think he got everything right against Bournemouth. They had very few chances, did they? And we looked very solid all game. And we'll go into a few plays that impressed me as well. So first, Ederson got a 7. I think he only made 1 save all game, and that was it. And it was a simple one down in the family stand. Then for the back 4, I've gone with Kyle Walker a 7. I actually thought Kyle Walker did pretty well. He controlled the counter. Didn't have much to do, really. Controlled the counter with his pace. Made a really good pass into Gundogan for that first goal. which Ruben Diaz and a couple of players went off to Walker and give him a hug and said, you know, you're the orchestrator of that chance. You created that chance with that fired ball into Ilkay Gundogan. Diaz got an 8, as solid as always. I think Ake was fantastic today. I really do. Who'd have surprised that when you put an actual decent, competent fullback alongside Nathan Ake and you let him play and you give him game time, he's actually a really good defender. And I think we could see him start a lot of games this season ahead of John Stones, purely down to being a left footer and because of his form. Laporte's not back till October with that injury. Ake's going to play a lot of football, and I'm confident in Nathan Ake now, seeing how he plays. Cancelo, I don't think he was quite the level he was at West Ham the other week, so I'd give him a 7. Rodri is just, I mean, honestly, some of the touches he does, some of the passes, he's probably my favourite player at the moment, Rodri. He's probably my favourite player, and I'm already looking at maybe picking up a third kit for City this season with Rodri on the back because I'm just loving him. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Ilkay Gundogan in the middle, an 8 as well. Scored the goal, was pivotal in the other goals as well. KDB, I've given him a 9. Man of the match as well for Kevin De Bruyne. Individual brilliance throughout the game. Tried to set up a few chances for Haaland as well when he could. I thought it was fantastic, De Bruyne. Every touch created something for the side. Mahrez, I give a 6. I thought Mahrez was poor today. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Obviously, these are always opinions, and it's just my opinion. You guys let us know in the comments down below what you thought. But I thought Riyad Mahrez just wasn't the level he usually is at, personally. I really don't. Put a lot of crosses into the box, which were overhit, underhit. Had one shot that was saved. Wasn't the Mahrez of old. Phil Foden, I give a 7. I think it's rather unforgivable that Phil Foden didn't square that chance to Erling Haaland. I've given Erling Haaland an 8. Now, you might say, Haaland touched the ball twice. Touched the ball twice. How can you give Erling Haaland an 8? Trust me, if you were at that game and you saw the shift Erling Haaland put in the pressing, off the ball, he's an absolute bulldozer. The amount of times Bournemouth players found themselves on the floor where they just ran straight into him and he just clattered them and they're just bouncing off him, couldn't get anywhere near them, but it was fantastic for the assist. I think that assist that he made, where he drew in 3 players and found Gundogan, set up the game, really, set the tone of the game. We were all over Bournemouth. Once we got that breakthrough, Bournemouth had to come out a little bit, by a yard maybe, because Bournemouth were negative, and that allowed City to really take control of the game. So I give him an 8. Adds to the substitutions, Bernardo Silva, who got his name chanted from the minute he was warming up, from the minute he came on the field. It rung around the stadium. People obviously love Bernardo Silva, want him to stay. I want him to stay, but if he wants to go to Barcelona, a club where they'll probably not pay his wages next year, let him do it. That is his own mistake, isn't it? People love Barcelona for whatever reason. I give Grealish a 7. I thought Grealish was really good when he came on and actually set up a fantastic chance for Erling Haaland, who dragged his shot wide. But a better connection from Haaland, we probably would have seen his goal there, wouldn't we? I'll give a 6 to young Rico Lewis, 17 years of age. He's worth a mention, isn't he? 17 years of age, made his Manchester City debut. It's crazy. You feel really old when you're watching these play and you think, he's 17 and he's making his Man City debut. He came on and he was solid. I think he's a little bit inside, you know, played inside himself a little bit. He needed to be a bit more extroverted in his play. He didn't. He tried to play it safe. We know the quality he has. We saw against Bayern Munich in that pre-season when he was dribbling around players. I think with game time, he might really come alive. And the thing is, if Pep Guardiola's trusting Rico Lewis now to play in that sort of game, maybe Pep is just going down a different route this season. Maybe we'll still win the league. We'll still win the Champions League, possibly. But we'll go down a different route where we pick up the likes of Rico Lewis and Bete and give them game time. And if that's the case, I'm very, very happy. And then finally, a man who came on and had a bit of a game, Julian Alvarez, a lot of pressing, a lot of energy. Could have scored a goal, really. If it wasn't an own goal from Jefferson Lerma, then City would have got a goal for himself. Another, would it be second City goal? I think it would be after that one in the Community Shield, probably his first competitive goal. But things are looking positive for City at the start of the season. We've got a transfer review coming up on the channel not too long with a special guest from another We Are City, or just a City fan channel, will be on the We Are City channel. And we also have lots of big games coming up, don't we? Man United, worth a mention though, 4-0 defeat to Brentford. I hope you guys didn't miss that one. Let us know in the comments down below how you guys thought about the game. Who was your man of the match? What your ratings were, who you thought played well, who you thought didn't. And we'll see you guys next time with the Fantasy Premier League update. I am catching up the table. I'm probably around 42nd now out of 42 people, so not doing so good, am I? My team isn't fantastic at the moment. I need to find out. You guys are doing all this triple captaining and stuff, and it works really well. We'll see you guys next time.